Hello.
Hello, how are you this morning or afternoon?
Well, it's morning for me. Where are you?
I'm in Indianapolis.
Okay, Indianapolis.
Yeah, where are you?
I'm south of Boston, a little
Oh,
south of
okay,
Boston. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I went out there. I went out to Indianapolis in 2016, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my USATF level 2 thing out there in the
The
local college.
course, yes.
Yeah.
That's when, in fact, that's when I moved here in 2016.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you like it out there?
Oh, I loved it, loved it, loved it. And
Really?
I done lived in 12 states.
Wow. Yeah, when I retire, I'm moving down south. I gotta,
Yeah,
I gotta get out of Massachusetts. It's driving me crazy.
yeah. All that snow and cold.
It's snow, it's cold. The track and field sucks. I just gotta, I got, I gotta go down south where they run around, where they want to run fast.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of running all
And
these.
it's cold. It's cold. It's cold here, but I like Indy because I'm from Tennessee, so it's cold there. Then I lived in Lexington for 22 years, and it's cold there. So I used to live in Florida, but I like it here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from the cold.
Yes,
I'm too
the
old now.
bones can't take it.
No, they can't. We can't take it anymore.
No.
There's no more this cold stuff, man. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And right now it's like it's 51 degrees here. It's rainy.
Yeah,
And
it's raining here.
and I like, yesterday was like 53, and they call, and the kids because of COVID, we don't have a track season yet.
Right.
And so I kind of like I gave my kids all the preseason workouts and stuff, and they go and they're at the track, and I go down there every once in a while to see what they're how they're doing and stuff.
Got you. I see what you're saying.
And when you think it's 53 degrees and it's a nice day, it's just, you gotta move.
Yes, I see us live on YouTube. We've been talking on YouTube live.
Oh no, my gosh. Yeah, but we haven't started yet, so. Hello.
Hi guys.
How you doing?
I'm great.
That's good.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you guys. It's a pleasure.
So where are you from?
I'm from Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my name is Rosalind Olewe.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
I got to get out there one time.
Oh, welcome. It's a beautiful country.
I know. I
Mm.
do you know when I want to go? I want to go during Discovery Day.
Uh-huh.
That's when I want to go. I want to see all the running.
Please welcome. Please welcome.
Yeah.
Today is Jamhuri Day. It's a national holiday actually.
Oh, okay. Well, what is the holiday celebrating?
Independence.
Oh, well, happy Independence Day.
Thank you. Independence from our colonizers.
Well, they did their thing back then.
Oh my.
So how many years is must be over it's almost nearly 60 or over 60?
Oh, I think, is it 63? 63? Or is it 1963 is when we got the independence?
Okay, so it's 57
yeah.
years.
Yeah, 57.
All
57
right.
years, yeah. Mm.
Well, we had the same colonizers here, so.
We are familiar with their tactics.
Yes. You just had them a little longer.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, well, we had to beat them up to get them out.
Well, we kind of had to do. You had
to do that a little. Yeah, you probably had to do a little bit. Yeah, you probably a little bit.
Yeah, there was a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. It's good.
So, what sport are you representing?
I'm actually not in the sports industry at all. I'm in the creative industry.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
but I'm
the pre-conference deal. I remember you. Yes.
Correct. Yeah, but I'm just listening in because I'm interested.
Okay.
I'm just actually leaving a friend's wedding, So I'm in the car. So I'm going
Mhm.
to listen as we go. Then when I get home, I'll prepare for my panel discussion. But I want to
Huh.
listen in to you guys. Yeah.
A wedding on Independence Day. That's interesting.
Imagine.
That's
Yes.
interesting. Yeah.
With COVID protocols and everything. Only 50
Really?
people. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm,
I'm yeah, this COVID thing has screwed up so many things.
yeah. Yeah.
Cherie, what was your sport?
Track and field.
What event?
400 meter hurdler.
Oh,
Mm,
oh,
amazing.
I love that event.
Yes,
Amazing.
along with
I should have done that in college. I should have done it. I was an 800-meter runner,
uh-huh.
but I could hurdle. And
Wow.
I remember a race. We went to a low key dual meet against another D3 college. I ran for UMass Amherst, and so I said I ran the 800. I didn't run all that well. I didn't run very fast. It wasn't a hard race. And so I asked the coach, "Can I do the 400 hurdles?" And he goes, "Yeah, go ahead." And so I got in it. I ran like a 57, switching legs and stuttering, but it was fun.
It is it's a fun event and it's a very tiring event.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's a crazy event. I should have did it though. I think I should have done that one.
Yes.
I missed my calling on that one.
Yep.
So is Dan on? Is everyone on?
Yeah, Michael's here.
I
I
see
don't know, Dan.
Sharifa. I can see in the background. I see Michael, Rose, Sharifa, Greg, Rosalind. I
Hi.
got two others that I don't know necessarily who they are. So if Dan's on, we can go ahead and get started. Is Dan on?
Let me check. Gregory. I don't know who iPhone is.
That's what I was saying. So I don't know who that is. All right, we're gonna get started. So hopefully, we can come back to Dan if he's not on yet. But just to start, my name's Kadivus Robinson. Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, just a thumbs up. All right, perfect. Kadivus Robinson. I'll be moderating the show today. It'll be similar to the Sports World 2020 that some of you guys have been on before. So I have some questions for you guys, and then we'll keep it rolling. We'll keep it fun and exciting. So I want to start with Michael. Michael, you've been coaching for about how long?
My first job was actually 40 years ago today, this month.
Wow.
My goodness, 40 years.
Yeah.
Where'd you start at?
Actually the high school where I graduated from, right out of college.
Yeah, can you give us a little background on what city, state, and?
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to a mid Massachusetts town called Framingham, Massachusetts, and I went to Framingham South High,
All right.
which no longer exists. But I went to Framingham South High. Then from there, I went to University of Massachusetts, Amherst.
All right.
Coach, and I was trained under the great Ken O'Brien, fabulous coach, and he's still around. I'm really thankful for that. I still call him up for advice every once in a while. So when I got out of college, the track coach at Framingham South had quit, and I heard about it because you don't have internet anymore back then. So I just heard about it. And I went to the athletic director who actually knew me, and I said, "Let me do it." And he hired me. And we went 8-1, lost the ninth meet by 2 steps. And but it was a great experience. And I actually had my buddy Paul Cheffers with me. His dad was in '84 was the Sports Institute director back in '84 in Australia. But Paul was my assistant, and it was just me and him, and we coached all 10 events and had a really, really great season, and I got the bug.
Oh man, so the rest has been history, right?
Rest has been history. Yeah.
Hey guys, for everyone who's on the line, if it's possible, if you can mute, if you're not speaking, that'd be great. Because we got we can hear the background, so you just mute. And when I'm asking questions, if I call on you, you can unmute. COVID is here, and I'm a coach. I coach at Ohio State. It's been a bit of a challenge for myself, but if there's anything to say about athletes and coaches, is that we're very persistent, we're resilient, and we learn to adjust. You go to a meet, if it's raining, you learn to adjust to that. If it's delayed, how have you adjusted during this COVID situation?
I'll tell you, I got you. I tell you, this has been probably one of the saddest years of my coaching career, because after a long story, I got back to I live in this little town called Stoughton. I'm the head coach of the girls team here. And the girls team here had been fairly neglected. The boys team has been a powerhouse for like 2-3 years. So everybody's looking at them and all that stuff. And the girls was kind of like an afterthought. And so I decided, when I got the job to be a girls coach, I decided I was going to, elevate the girls team and get them fired up. And we had a really good indoor season. And I was, and we just had a nice roll. The team was excited. People were excited. Had like nice number of girls coming from the winter sports into track for the spring sport. Had a couple of girls who were being looked at by colleges and stuff, and then no season.
Man.
And it was devastating. It was really devastating. And then so, luckily we had cross country, but I'm not the cross country coach, but it was devastating. And now we don't have our indoor season until February 22nd.
Yeah.
So we got 3 months. I've been sending the pre-workouts and stuff, but it's just been hard because I don't know, because, parents are scared, people are concerned. So I don't even know what my numbers are going to be. I don't know what kind of spring track is going to be. Now,
how diverse is your team?
As far as
just diversity wise, how diverse? Because are you getting with these challenges? Is everyone coming from the same background and kind of their approach to I guess encountering the challenges?
Well, I got a pretty diverse team.
All right.
I got team. We got white, black, and Spanish, and all in the black. They got Haitians and Nigerians and everything like that. And we got Americans. We have Cape Verde's, Portuguese folks.
Huh?
Yeah, we got all kinds. It's definitely diverse. Italians. These people, Lebanese and Middle Eastern folks. We have a really good diverse group of girls, and they are. But they gel. They all gelled and together, because track and field brings folks together. It's just
right.
Like it just. We're just one big family now, and I get, when I go to the track and girls are good, happy to see me and stuff. And my leaders, my captains are from one's Haitian, Jamaica, Haitian, Jamaican. These are all descents, not necessarily where they're from. Haitian, Jamaican, Irish, and what's the name from? Oh, I think Spanish.
That's good though. That's the beauty of track and field. I've said that for years. It's an international sport, so it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter your background. You can be extremely talented in it if you put the work in. And you can see it, I was fortunate enough to have run a good amount, and you can see individuals successful that come from anywhere and everywhere. So I've always took pride in that part, to say that how diverse the sport is. And when I go speak at places, I can say, hey man, you can find someone that looks like you, maybe have the same background that you have, and you can still be successful in that. So that's great that you've had that. I can only imagine on a high school level how challenging it is, because some of these kids, you know, some of them are looking to try to get scholarships to colleges also. And so
I got one boy. Since I'm a girls coach, but we coach crews. You know
Mhm.
that. So I got boys and girls on the long sprint per crew. I got one kid right now. Oregon's looking at him, but he hadn't had a season. He hadn't had his breakout season was going to be last spring. You know, I was going to knock him down to just like an easy 48, and he was only a junior, and now he's a senior, and I made him run cross country. I said, you got to run cross country. And so, but now we don't have an indoor, and it's just really tough on him right now.
Yeah.
And it's really been tough on him. And so he's one of our major, because his brother just got a full boat to Syracuse for the hurdles.
All right.
And this kid's a 600 meter, 400, 800 meter runner.
Okay.
So it's good. He's our, it's been tough. It's been really tough on all the boys and girls. It's been really tough.
That means we have to be tougher, right?
We are tougher. Yeah, we are tougher. And I want to just say, you're one of my heroes, brother. Just want to let you know that. Because I ran the 800 myself, and you're one of my heroes. So I just want to
appreciate it. Yeah, man. That means we have kindred spirits, man. That 800 is tough. I heard you.
The best race ever. Yeah.
It's not even close, because what happens is, and you know this, once you run the 800, when you go and if you coach, it forces you to kind of understand other events also, because the 800, it has a little mix of sprints and it has a mix of distance, but it also has a mix of tactics and techniques and all those types of things.
Yes.
And so it makes you kind of relate to knowing how to have strategies. You run in your lanes for the first curve, so that's kind of like a sprint. But then you also mix up lanes after that, and you have to have the speed, because how fast you can run a 400, determines how fast you can come through that first 400, and then you got to have the strength, because hey, you can run through the first 400 as fast as you want, but if you can't finish, it doesn't make any difference. So it's an interesting concept. I'll love to come back to you a little bit later. I want to jump on here with Sharifa. It's been said that this is the year of the woman, right? And I don't know. You know me. I don't. I mean, every year is the year of the woman. To some of us. But how do you feel about that? That the whole concept of this is the year of the woman. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the reason why I think that concept is like it is because during this pandemic, women, they really have to step up. And this is not the first time that they have stepped up to the plate, but being home with your children, having to take on other responsibility, you just have to step up. And women are more aggressive, more they see a vision and they want to complete that vision. And I think whereas the pandemic has been horrifying to others, it has led other women to do the things that they wanted to do, but haven't had the opportunity to do it, because sometimes you have to be still in order to do the things that you need to do that God wants you to do. So it leads to women of seeing this vision and pursuing this vision. And again, women have always been strong. Women have always been at the forefront.
So, and I'm kind of getting off script, so Rose is going to kill me.
Okay, Khadivas.
So knowing and seeing and experiencing all these amazing women, and yet you're saying about opportunities, you're saying I'm trying to figure out what would be holding them back.
Well, it just depends on their circumstances. That will hold them back. I mean, you have different variety of things that will hold anyone back. I mean, I won't say it held me back, but I did a lot of traveling. And due to COVID-19, I was able to stay home and do a lot of the things that I wanted to do and fulfill my dreams. So it's not so much is why things are, why they're held back, but it's the circumstances that has caused them to just take a step back. So now some of them have pursued their dreams or whatever it is they want to pursue. And look at our first African-American Indian vice president. Who would have ever dream that we will have one. And now we do. So, you know, she's been pushing and striving and striving and striving, and her dreams and her goals have come true. And so it's just a matter of what it is that you want to do in life. And sometimes different circumstances will hold a person back, but your past does not dictate your future. So if you keep your eyes on the prize and continue to grind and grind and grind, whatever it is that you want it to do, it will come to pass, and you can pursue that dream and continue to be a strong woman at that same time.
All right. Let me get back to the script I was supposed to be on. So here's one of the questions. How has your Olympic athletic accomplishments prepared you for your role as now you're a singer also, so that's a hat you put on? Has those things intertwined at all?
Almost definitely, because when you are an Olympian, you know what it takes to get there. So your work ethics is already there. So you're not, and you have that determination, you have that drive, you have that zeal about yourself. And me, I've always been a strong person as a child growing up. And I function better when my back is up against the wall. But the Olympics have prepared me today to make the woman that I am today, because you have to be focused, you have to be dedicated, you have to not only give 100%, but 200% to even reach that high level of altitude of becoming an Olympian, because everyone can't be an Olympian. Only the first 3 in your heat that cross that finish line in the finals. So it's the hard work and the dedication that you put in. And me, you know, I've always sung coming up, but not on this magnitude. So that I had to reach back to that dedication that I gave myself and back for the Olympics to put it into place now. So anything that I do, I'm always going to give 200%, and I'm always going to be dedicated no matter what it is.
And I want all the viewers to know, and I want the other panelists to know that whenever you're talking, whenever you guys are talking, I something pops in my head and I have to write it down so I can ask a follow-up question, because I will forget. And so when you see me go down, I'm trying to write the question down. And with that, I have a question. You said you got to put in 200%. You said not 100%, 200%. And I wrote that down. So what is the 200%?
200% is going the extra work. Anybody can put in 100%, but are you willing to go the distance? See, I'm not ordinary. I'm extraordinary, because I'm going to put in that extra 100% to make it 200%. So you have some people, let's take athletes. You have some athletes that they have the talent and they're good, but they only put that 100% in. And so as coaches, we're looking for that 200%. Are you going to stay that extra 15 minutes after practice to perfect your craft? So putting in 200%, going beyond the call of duty.
All right, cool. And so you feel like that's something that carries over to the singing also?
Oh, yes. I'm working on a new release, and I was up the other morning to 4:00 in the morning, because I had to get it to my producer over there in Zimbabwe, and the time is different. So I have to put in the work if I want to perfect it and make sure the song represent who I am when the song is released. Okay,
so here's the thing I wanted to kind of ask you. I'm gonna go in a little bit ahead, but how has it been, with the running, with the Olympic running, with your singing, with your working, and now you've had the opportunity to kind of work with your daughter and do some stuff like that. How, looking back on everything that you've gone through, how was that experience?
The experience, I would say this, the experience working with my daughter has been just phenomenal, because the work that she did on Strong Women I knew she had it in her, but she brought my story to life. And to see her and the way I pushed her growing up, as well as my son growing up, pushing them to be the best, and you let nothing stand in your way, because what God has for you is for you. So to see her do the things that she's doing now, it's because of God, but it's also because of me, of what I have instilled in her and my son growing up as children. What is 100%? I don't understand that. When, like, my daughter, her first job was working at a restaurant. And I told her, when other people are standing around and you see a table that needs to be cleaned, you get from behind that counter, that cash register, and you start cleaning. So you do something that other people are not willing to do. So by me being a mother, being a track athlete, working for USATF, being a singer, all of that comes to full circle. And also being coaching other athletes, because I do have my one-on-one training academy with Sharif, and then Justin Gatlin and I, we have Born to Be Elite in Cape Town, South Africa. So it's all in what you make of yourself. It's all in what you do with yourself. And if others don't believe in you, that's okay, because your dream and your path is different from theirs. So you got to keep grinding, you got to keep pushing, and you got to tell yourself, I will be somebody, because I am somebody. I will let nothing stand in my way. So that's the path and that I have always been taught. And our family, my sister, my brother, who was deceased, and my other sister deceased, we've all been taught that. So the sky's the limit. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do this or you can't do that. You can do and be anything that you want to be in life.
And let's just be clear. There's people are gonna tell you that. Just know that from the beginning.
Yes.
People are gonna tell you that what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to achieve is either A, you're not gonna be able to achieve it, or B, that it's not worth it. You know,
Right.
And I get that a lot. I get people saying, I'm telling you, I get people say, why are you doing these podcasts? Why are you doing so much speaking? That speaking events is only going to have one person or two people. And I tell them, I say, it's all right if it has one or two people, because every zero knows a hero and every dud knows a stud.
That's right. That's right.
So God might have put me here to talk to two people.
Right,
so if only two people gonna be there, then I'm gonna make sure I give those two people the best I can give them. So I like to emphasize that, because a lot of times people don't get that. They think, oh, well, I started singing, or I started dancing, or I started my company, and only one person or two people, came. They think, well, I shouldn't do it. No.
Keep on doing it. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay if you have one or two people, because you have to sow that seed.
That's right.
And Khadivas, you being an Olympian, and you being, and me, managing the team, and I've had you on the teams and stuff like that. I know when you will come, because I'm the last person that you see before you go out in the track, and you was just so focused, because you knew what you had to do to accomplish your goals and stuff, and wasn't nothing gonna stand in your way. And I know I'm like, Khadivas, do you have everything? And you would pull out everything, and you had everything, bang, 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 bang. So
shaking and stuff.
Yeah, shaking and stuff, and you was prepared, but in order for you to be prepared for you to go out there and run that 800, you had all your ducks in order. So, no matter whether you 10 years old, 20 years old, 30, 40, or 50 or 60-year-old, if you have a dream and you have a goal, go out there and get it. Never let anyone tell you that you can't, because the word can and no is not in your vocabulary. It's only in the book that you read.
That's right. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go over to the video, because I know a lot of people haven't. They don't know what we're talking about. We talk about your video. So Rose is gonna take you to your video. We can follow up some questions after that. I think she's. Greg.
Yes, sir. Morning.
I see you on there, man.
My brother.
How you doing?
I am so blessed. I like to hear you speak, because you come with a certain level of excitement. You know what I mean? If you're sleeping, you gotta wake up to say, hey, let's hear what Khadivas has to say.
You in Florida right now?
Yes, I am. I'm in Florida right now.
What parts?
I'm in Miami, right next to Fort Lauderdale, right on the border right there.
Man, you living it up, man.
Telling you, Hey, what can I say? I've been around the state and I used to fight against Florida because it usually rain a lot. But after coming here, I realized that it really don't rain as much as I thought it did. And then I saw the fruit trees, the mangoes and everything. And I'm like, you know what? Miami is the place for me. The beach is just 15 minutes away, free. You can't beat that.
Well, hold on. You from Jamaica though?
Eh?
You from Jamaica?
Yeah, so I'm telling you, Miami and Jamaica is almost the same thing. Trust me on that one. Everything you want in Miami, in Jamaica, you get it in Miami. Everything. Nothing different.
Can you get some good jerk chicken in Miami?
Oh man, I do my own jerk chicken, but yeah, you know, we usually have the jerk fest where all the great jerkers normally come to provide jerk chicken.
So
jerk.
hold on. Where are you getting your jerk sauce sent to you from somebody? You go to video.
No, the jerk sauce that we use is what they call Walker's Wood. It's a very
Just know that God
works, but it comes back down to the combination. You blend your stuff together when you add that Walker's Wood jerk. The jerk sauce that we use is what they call Walker's Wood. It's a very
just know that God
works, but it comes back down to the combination. You blend your stuff together when you add that Walker's Wood jerk. The jerk sauce that we use is what they call Walker's Wood. It's a very
to all the women who's been through domestic violence and who have survived, just know that God gave us praying hands. Just know that God gave us praying hands.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, I think the video is not able to load up. So, man, somebody's gonna be mad at me. But Sharifa, you right here. You can't. I mean, you can't just hit one little line or something, or at least walk us through kind of how the what we was gonna be seeing.
Okay, I
How
sing a
that's
little.
gonna go?
I sing a little piece. No matter what we go through, God love is true. If you reach out to Him, He will see us through. See us. He will see us through. We are strong women with God's praying hands. We are strong women. The victory's in our hands. We are strong.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I didn't know it was you. You know, when I heard the song, I didn't know it was you.
Hey, that could be for men also, though, right?
That's true. That's true. It
That
can
was
be.
beautiful. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah. So, Sharifa done started us off. So now it's your time, Michael. Let's go.
Oh, me? I am not a singer. But I'll tell you something though. I'll tell you something. My theme with my girls was determination. And you know, when you are showing your determination, you are trusting that God's going to help you get there. You are going to say, okay, I'm going to do all I can, everything I can, and God's going to take care of the rest.
That's right.
And
Rosalind, you got something for us?
Say it again.
Now I'm trying to get everybody to sing. I'm putting everybody on the spot.
No,
Rosalind, come out of here. I know Greg ain't finna sing. So,
I can't sing. I can't sing.
So Sharifa, I mean, that's a different, and this is something I want everybody to understand. Like, you know, Greg, myself, we've known you forever. We never knew you could sing. We never knew that was something that you wanted to do. How was you able to jump out on faith? I say, jump and grow your wings on the way down. How was you able to do that?
I think Rose has the video.
What's the address of your emergency?
To all the women who's been through domestic violence and who have survived,
All the women.
just know that God gave us praying hands.
Just know God gave us praying hands.
We have a new person here with us today. Meet Terry.
Dre hit me again. I just don't know what I did this time.
Terry, you didn't do anything wrong. Look, ladies, you need to put a stop to this.
But I love my man.
Is love supposed to hurt you? Keisha, look at you. How long are you gonna keep letting him do this to you?
He said this was his last time.
My man said the same thing 2 weeks ago. Ladies, we have to walk away. I've been listening to this new song called Strong Women.
By Sharifa, right?
Yeah.
I swear that song been giving me so much strength. It's just, I don't know why I can't leave.
Ladies, let's take a breather. Let's go home, listen to the song, and walk away this time. You're better than this.
We are strong women. With God's praying hands, we are strong.
And baby,
Why are you drinking?
what'd I tell you about questioning me, huh?
You know what? I'm not doing this with you today.
Where you think you going?
I told you I'm not doing this with you.
Yo, get your ass in the car. Yeah, walk. Hey, yo, if I tell you to do some shit, you do it.
No matter what we go through.
Yeah. Let's go. Get your ass home. Get your ass home.
If we reach out to him, he will see us through. See us through. He will see us through. We are strong women.
Where you been? I said where you been.
I heard you. I'm done with this shit, Tony.
Done with what?
Us.
So you leaving?
Yeah, I am actually. My brothers are coming in the morning. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
We are strong women. Our soul is set free. Set free.
John from work, ain't want nothing.
Why you calling this late?
Cause I'm with you.
Call him that.
I said no.
They tried to break us. They tried to beat us down. We survived domestic violence. And look at us now. Look at us now.
You doing some drinking tonight? No. Why don't you hold on to that? Step outside the car for a minute.
This is some bullshit, man.
I know. I know. You don't have,
Why y'all pull me over for?
you don't have nothing on you, sir?
Why y'all pull me over for?
For your own safety, sir. For your own safety. You're gonna call by this truck.
We are strong women. God's praying hand.
Seems to be the problem, sir.
What's up, man?
Got a call about a disturbance.
This what we doing?
Make sure everybody's okay, sir. Can you stand up for a second?
Hey, man. Talk to my woman.
Stand up for a second.
You call the police on me? That's what you... That's what the fuck we doing?
All right, now, sir.
Huh? This what you doing?
All right.
This what you doing to me?
It doesn't have to be like...
All I do for you.
We got praying hand and stop this abuse, emotional, mentally, physically, and sexually abused. But they say they love you, abuse. Yeah, you call this love? We are strong women with God's praying hand. We are strong women. The victory's in our hand. We are strong. We are strong. We are strong. God's praise. Strong women. We got praying hand and stop this abuse.
Stop domestic violence.
Let's stop domestic violence.
Stop domestic violence.
Stop domestic violence.
Stop domestic violence.
Hey, at the end, when they were showing the pictures of the guy saying stop domestic violence, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Then right at the end, Greg's picture popped up. I was like, dang, Greg jumped in that video. I'm like, Greg, I didn't know all of that. So Sharifa, I was thinking as I was listening to the video and watching the video, the first thing I noticed is that I could tell that dude wasn't no good from the first time he was on the screen on the video. I could look at him and tell he ain't never ran on a track a day in his life. Like that guy's no good. I knew it from the beginning. So I don't know if it might be my senses in the back. You guys, a thing that I think is ironic is that last summer, not 2020, 2019, I was part of a sports envoy program that went to Zimbabwe.
Right.
And we were talking about domestic violence.
Oh.
And I'm serious, you can look it up. That was the message. That's why I was over there. But here's the catch. They felt, because usually when you talk about domestic violence or gender-based violence or whatever you want to call it, it's women talking about the issues that they've had, right? But evidently and obviously the men need to get the message, right? But men don't want to go to no event talking about how they are the people doing the wrongdoing, right? So what they thought is having a sports background to it would attract the men, and then they would listen. And I thought that was pretty telling.
That's smart.
So I was like,
that's very, 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 very smart. But the thing about it is with domestic violence, they have programs for women and how they should be and everything, but they have to start young with little boys, showing them the correct way how to treat little girls growing up all the way up to adulthood. So they put all these programs out for women, but they don't have any for men. So that's one of my mission that's on my plate, is to really gear towards the young men, especially in Africa, because I get a lot of messages. And in fact, I just got a video from in Africa where this man was beating his wife because she wouldn't, because someone texted her, but didn't put it in a chat with him. And so he made her go on there and apologize. And every time she would say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," he would beat her. It's very disturbing.
I guess I have, and again, and we got to move on, but I have this one question, a personal question, and I don't even know what the answer is, and maybe you can help me out with it. When I was younger, I'm from the hood. In my family, my mom has 2 sisters and 4 brothers. Yeah. So back in the day, you know, when my mom was growing up, if my stepdad didn't do it, but if he would have, you know, she would have told her brothers. And so I guess what I'm saying is, it's like there was a time when I was growing up, like anything happened to the girl, the female, first thing she might do is tell her dad. And second thing that may happen is she tell her brothers, if she had brothers or uncles or whatever. And typically they took care of it, you know?
Yes. So
is that no longer the case? Have we went away from that? Where is that? Where does that fall into this whole thing?
Well, you know, well, the reason why I'm laughing is because you're looking at back then to compare to now. You just can't go around doing that now because
you can't just go around. But hold on, but I would say you just can't go around hitting on women neither.
Right. That is true. You can't do neither. So the only thing that I can say is be careful and know who you're dating and know who you're with, and not just it's a format. I do a whole workshop on it. And although you can tell someone, but it's hard, and people say, well, why didn't you get out? Why didn't you get out? Why didn't you get out? Well, the same thing with me. Why didn't I get out? You know, and I was in it for 20 years. But look at me now. That's what my song is. I'm a strong woman, and I was strong back then. It's not like that I got beat. It was more verbally and mentally. Yeah. And you got women and men, because men are abused too. So don't get it twisted that it's all, because we have women out there that beat up on men. And it's you got to know your worth. And like you said, back then, they would pull you to the side, they would beat you down. Well, you know, hey, I'm pretty sure it happens now. They just ain't, you know, they're not going to the police and tell it because they just beat the woman. So to each his own. But just know who you're with, and use your lifeline. And when you see there's red signs, red flags that go up. Once you start seeing that one red flag, get out. Get out. I don't care what it is, get out, because it's leading to a bad situation.
So Rosalind, I think you got some input on that. Can you share?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you brought about the angle of using sports as a vehicle to reach men. Because I used to work for a British Council, the Kenya office, and there was this innovative program called Addressing Violence Against Women and Girls using football. And it was a partnership between the Premier League in the UK and the British Council. And they basically would do football training camps, and they would use that as a vehicle to reach the target group. So in Kenya, they were doing it in a part of the country that had a really high rate of domestic violence. And it was very effective. And it's exactly for the reason that you said, because the perpetrators are not going to show up at a at a group discussion that makes them, but they will come to a sports event, and then they get the messaging, and they get they are now equipped with tools to understand that what they're doing is wrong. And the women also get the tools to know they should speak up. So I thought that was just really, really cool.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And here's what I realized in the event that what we did. A lot of times with the men, it's more of an ego thing, B, not knowing how to communicate in an effective way, and C, it's a power thing. So when you bring in the sports aspect of it, certain things become relatable, and it's hard to explain this, but men are just, men are different. That's we don't bond the same. Men and women bond a little bit differently. You see what I'm saying? And so when you bring the sports aspect into it and you have real conversations, then what can happen is you're opening up avenues over subjects that's usually not talked about, if that makes sense. Typically, when men and women are together, they talk about certain things, and when men are together, they talk about certain things, and vice versa. So when you open up these avenues for those things to change, I think that's what happens, and
right.
And then you can stop that cycle, because it becomes a cycle. That's one thing we have to remember too, because if a young kid sees his dad doing it or vice versa, it does, because when a kid, before they're 7 years old, their brains are still maturing. It ain't developed yet. So when they see that at that early age, it does something. But if we can stop that process, and it becomes a thing in their head that they understand that this is not how they're supposed to be treated. And it goes for the women also, because sometimes little girls see their mom, they internally know this is not right.
That's right.
But maybe they'll accept it a little bit more because they saw their mom go through the same thing. So they might not go and say nothing as early as they should say something.
Right. And Khadivas, what you also have to look at, that is more abuse in sports than ever before. I mean, you have coaches that abuse their athlete mentally and emotionally. You have, just like I posted this coach, which just got banned, of hitting this little kid for a football game for a championship. These are little children. So it starts, and you have to get rid of these bad coaches in order for these athletes to perform. These athletes can perform on the highest of the highest level, but you don't have to talk and degrade an athlete to have that athlete to perform the way they need to perform. And it's and you got sexually abused. The coach is sleeping with their athlete and telling them, if you don't go out there and perform this, you're not gonna, A, B, C, and D is not going to happen. So it's really big. And you look at the gymnastics. Look how the doctor sexually abused all of those gymnasts that was on the United States Olympic team and went through that program.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes from no matter what the event is, no matter what the sport is, the parent and adult interaction is extremely important. And I think sometimes, and I got to say this in a very specific way, we got to be careful not to get so caught up in the glamour that we don't look at what's behind the glamour. And so, I think sometimes we might think a certain school or a certain team or a certain coach or whatever, but we don't look at what's really behind that. And I think it's the same thing with relationships. And I got to go to Greg next, but I want to say this. I'm gonna be honest with you. People gonna get mad at me, but it is what it is. I think God put me here for a purpose. And guys, I know Greg, I know Mike's there, and Greg's still on here, and some people on here, but I don't know if you guys feel the same way. But sometimes I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Instagram. I'm seeing all these sisters, man. And I'm talking about, man, they beautiful. And I'm married, but I'm just saying that the sisters are beautiful. They fine. They smart. They educated. And I'm looking at these sisters. I'm like, golly, this girl, she's beautiful. She's fine. She got her own job. She's educated. She works hard. And then she'll be like, she'll have one kid. And it don't matter if she has a kid or not. She'll have one kid, or she'll have two kids, or she won't have no kids. And she'll be like, she's single or her boyfriend is that. And I'm thinking to myself, what dude left her? Well, I mean, she got all of this. Or what guy had a baby with her and just like not involved? I mean, like, I don't get that thinking. But what I pause to say is this: how she choosing that guy? Because I got friends like myself. They would never. I'm married, but I'm saying those girls would never choose me, even if you my friends. But we're the type of people that we stay there. So I guess is it really the guy, or some of the blame should be on the women? Because you look at this woman, you say she's beautiful, she's fine, she's sexy, she's smart, she's educated. But this guy, and our first thing is to go, well, this guy's a turd. He got to knock in. But then we got to go, well, the guys who ain't a turd, she don't want to have no dealing with them. Greg, you feel the same way? Am I by myself on this?
Well, here's what I have to say. And there's a book out there. They say that before I say I do, which most of the time as guys, we see the outer appearance, but we really don't take the time to look on the inner. Because for me, when I was younger and my hormones were running around, I focused on the outer. But as I got smarter, older and smarter, I start to look on the quality of what is within. And I think that's what is catching a lot of these guys and girls, that they look at the guy, he's muscular, he seems like things are going for him, and they ignore all of the red flags. If you look on the video with Sharifa, they're all handsome guys, you know? And sometimes the woman go for the looks and didn't realize that the hooks were coming later. You know what I mean? So it is important that you go with the character of a person. It is important that you go with the qualities. That's what you got to look for. It can't be, he's good in bed, or he's muscular, he got a fine job and all of that. That's the biggest mistake a woman can make.
And what do you think, Michael? I mean, I want to hear your point on that. You coach high school kids. I mean, with the issues going on with men and women, do you see the same thing coming through high school and moving up? Is Michael still there? I don't know if
I'm still here. All
right.
Well, this is what I really tell my girls, and I actually tell the boys as well. You got to talk to a person. You don't need to go right to the kissing. You don't even need to go right to the hand holding. If you're attracted to somebody, if you don't talk to them first for a few months, not a couple of weeks, not a month, you got to talk. And okay, well, guys say, "Oh, I don't talk." Well, then, that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to talk, but you still have to relate to the person that you're attracted to. You don't need to go right to the honeymoon. You don't need to go.
Michael, real quick, do you have Instagram or Twitter?
Yes.
Because I ain't seen kids holding hands in so long. I don't even do they.
I know. Well, see, okay, when you see, okay, you look at those.
I'm trying to be real because
you're fine. When you look at those beautiful women and things like that, when I look at those beautiful women, I wonder what event does she run? That's where's her tracker bit? What is her? What
I think that way too. But I'm saying in relation to what they're writing, because the women
will
have a response or a post that says certain things, and then that's what got my mind thinking that way. But
right, but I think but this is what I tell the high school kids: you got to talk. If you don't talk to the person first and get to really know them and things like that. If you start jumping into the emotional touching and the relationships and emotional relationship part of the physical touching and stuff like that, if you start jumping right into that, then you will lose your perspective on how that person is treating you, because you're
Rosalind, do you see the same thing over in where you at in Kenya? I think you're in Kenya, right? Or Britain?
Kenya.
I think she's muted. Is she there, Roz?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's the same thing here in Kenya. I think it's just a global thing around values and the generation is different. And it's not even the generational thing, because like, man, I'm 51 and I'm dating. And it's the same thing.
Hold on.
Somebody.
Hold on. When you say it's the same thing, same thing meaning what?
What Michael has just said about people being patient, taking time to get to know another human being before jumping in to an intimate relationship. So that the fact that clouds your, I love how he put it, that it clouds your ability to perceive that someone may not be treating you well. And I was like, wow, for me, that's an epiphany. But it's the same thing. And amongst our youth, it's the same thing. There's so much peer pressure. Kenya has a very high rate of teenage pregnancy. And there's been almost a crisis because of COVID and the schools have closed and the young people are at home idle, they don't have access to the extracurricular that they had it when they were in school. There's just a huge issue with the moral fabric, and there's a huge rate of teenage pregnancies. So I don't know if I'm going off topic, but I do agree with Michael that it's a value thing. It's I think even a thing of teaching, because young people now our family systems are different now.
Okay, but hold on.
Yeah.
I want to get real. I got everybody on here, can we get real quick? Can we?
Yay. We
can. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. And the women can help me out with this. We're talking about moral fabrics, but I try to have these conversations with women and females and the whole nine, especially adult women and adult female. But men are going to try. I'm not saying it's right or correct, but since the beginning of time, men, that's kind of what men do, right? I mean, like that's what I'm not saying it's right or correct, but men try to get women, right? But I think back in the day, the parents and the dad and whomever and the mom told the woman or the female, hey, the guy's going to come and if you're trying, if I guess what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't feel comfortable for a female or a girl waiting and hoping for a guy not to try these things on her, because I don't know if that's realistic. Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying, and me, this is me personally.
Okay, Sarifa, real quick. Your daughter's beautiful, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's say she's 21, 22. If she meets a guy in LA, right, and he's 21, 22, as much as we would want him, if they go out, not to want to try to kiss her or whatever, being realistic, the odds are he's probably going to try that, right?
He would try. Gentel's 26, and the person probably would try that, but the Gentel, she doesn't even date.
Okay, but that's her. That's the point I'm making.
She chose not to because she's focusing on her career. And if she did go out, and she has a standard. So if a guy tried to kiss her and she doesn't want, she's like me, back up, punt 10. Okay. It's not happening.
So Greg, are you getting what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't like I necessarily that me and you and the guys our age and they were such good guys. It was more so we knew the girls weren't going to go for that. And if we tried it, not only were they going to be saying no, we probably going to have to deal with their dad or their brother.
That's true.
Parent. Right, Greg? But
what would we do? But Kadibus, what we would do, we would go for an easier target instead of going for the difficult one. Because we're going to find that if we go through the numbers, chances are we're going to find one that may not have exposure to the values and the morals from home, but it all starts in the home. Parents have to so that they educate sons and daughters as to what to expect when they go out in the real world. And this is why Sharifa, she can say her daughter is the standard, and she will more likely try to find a guy who will accommodate the standard.
That's right. And she and she's not going to settle. My children are not going to settle because they know what I went through, and they know that their standard is very high. So Gentel's been out there for 2 years. She's single, she's successful, and she's going to continue to be successful until she reach her dreams and goals. We talk and we tell each other everything. I'm talking about everything. A lot of people say, well, I don't believe that she tells you everything. Yes, Gentel tells me everything. Yes, she does. So she's beautiful, she's smart, and like I tell her, wait on God, because God has that special person for you. You will know it. Trust me, you will know it. And if a red flag goes up, They have to deal with me because I'm one will approach the dude. I will, because that's just the nature, the beast in me. So
like he got earrings in his ear or something like that.
No, she's not. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, and you know, the smartest guys has earrings. They have tattoo and stuff like that. My son has tattoo.
I'm
so
joking.
that doesn't define a person and their inner beauty of them. They could be, you know, it doesn't matter. But if the person respects her, love her, and treat her the way she's supposed to be treated, then I wouldn't care if they wore earring in their ears or have tattoos or something like that, because I have a lot of tattoos.
You know what? You kind of I'm gonna be like Martin and Will Smith and Bad Boys come.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're 25. I'm gonna be the same way, Martin and Will Smith and Bad Boys.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm keeping myself from getting in trouble. This next question's for Greg. Greg, the cultural creative industries is huge. As a professor and teacher within the classroom, how much of your curriculum covers the cultural creative industry? And please shed some light on the importance of management and leadership in the cultural creative industry.
Well, for the most part, Kadivos, we go by certain textbooks. And for me, my style is that I try to use whatever information that is in the text, and I try to bring my own spin. Because one of the things I want, especially Africans to know, that when I say African, I mean Africans around the world, that what you see in these textbooks, they are theories in our mind, but they're actually real in this world. So those individuals who are running this world, they're not going by any theory. They're actually going by the practical application, and they teach us the theoretical thing. Now, in Africa, one of the things they usually do is to say practice, 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 because practice makes perfect. So this is what I try to do. I try to cover the theory because I have to, but I try to use people's real life experience and see if they can make the connection. Now, when it comes to leadership, I focus more on management, which is a part of leadership, because sometimes people can't make the connection to say that management, leadership, it's about motivation. It's about how you as a leader can get your subordinates to be just as good as you are. Because when you work together, this is when you can get the full results of anything that you set out to achieve. So I try to encourage people to understand the theories in terms of the goal setting theory, and other, the XY theory, and apply it to their own lives in terms of motivation. You must make people feel good about themselves. You must empower people. You must give people responsibility so they feel like they are trustworthy. And as any human being, if you're able to do that, then you see you can bring out the best in people. And that's what I try to do. I try to make a difference, not just to be heard, but to use your own life experience and make the connection so you can be a better person in anything that you do.
Yeah, and I like that, because one of the things you said that I really like was that sometimes we're given theories, but they're out here winning, not even using the same theories that they give you. And I don't want to get off into a rant or nothing like that, but I'm reminded of the Africans that was first brought to certain places and they was taught certain religions. And it's a story. This is not me coming up with it. It's a story that I was told. And they was getting taught this, whatever the religion was. And then as they was getting beat and killed and raped and stuff, they looked over and said, hey, you teaching me this religion, but you're not even following the religion you telling me that I need to be doing. So they had this thing in their head that was confusing them, because it's like the people that was teaching them they're supposed to be doing a certain thing or a certain religion, a certain theory, they wasn't even doing the same thing. You know, is that making sense?
Yeah, so here is what I do, Kadivis. My mission is to inspire people to become the best version of themselves by changing the way they think about things. because a lot of the beliefs and values and morals that we embrace, they are not in our best interest. So one of the things I have to do is to first take a person back in time for them to see where they got these information that they are using now to guide their path. And most of the time you see it's coming from an area where abuse might be in the home, Disney Channel, people watching a lot of Disney, people watching a lot of Martin, because now it's more about entertainment and it's not about instilling the proper values in the home. Because I had to do that. I had to go back in my own time to see, why did I believe these things? And I found that because my mother believed them. And then I had to go back to say, where did my mother get these things from? And I had to trace it as far back. So one of the toughest things right now is to get people to be honest about who they are. No, I'm not ashamed. If I made mistakes or my parents made mistakes back in the days, it's a burden in some degree because I inherited them, but I have to find a way to free myself. So you see a lot of adults, they're saying that this is how I am because this is what my mother do. You're an adult now, so it is up to you to change your own life by taking action. And this is why my mission is to inspire and lead and guide those individuals who want to be better in life. Because a lot of times, Khadivus, we want to change the world, you know, but we're not willing to change ourselves. So it really starts with you. If I can get you to change, then I can get your household to change, I can get your organization to change, and the people that you touch out there, you can have a positive impact.
But hold on. How does a guy from Jamaica that just wants to get out of Jamaica and come to the US and run, how does that guy now want to be a guy that's trying to help people? And where does that come from?
Well, because in my own life, when I was younger, I usually sit back and try to figure out, how am I going to solve this problem that I inherited? So I realized that a lot of people out there, they were just like me. Some of them just didn't have the will and some of them didn't have the guidance. So what I am doing now is, because I wanted this and I didn't know where to get it and I had to think through all of these things, then the strategy that I use to win in different areas of my life, academics and athletically, I am paving a way for people to show them that this is a recipe of success. If you follow the recipe, it doesn't matter what area you're in. If you follow this recipe, you will get the same exact cake that I am baking. And that's what it is about, Khadivus. You see, earlier Sharifa was talking about the mind. We as athletes, sometimes we have the mind to work hard and train hard. But when we go and make the transition in our own career, we don't have that same mindset. But this is what she's saying. You must have the mind where you figure out how to solve a problem through best practices, meaning that you're looking for the most efficient way to get the job done. And it is a part of who you are. So when I see, and people don't have to tell me their personal business, I know that most of us are struggling mentally, financially, and in other areas. So the recipe can fit whosoever who has a true intent and want to solve their own problem.
I'll tell you this, and we're gonna go real quick. We got Greg here, we got Sharifa here, we got Rosalind here, we got people. We've done this. I've interviewed people all over the world, from Kenya to South Africa, all over Africa, all over the Caribbean. And I'm telling you, we're getting amazing people who are smart, who are hardworking, who are successful. So you can't tell me that there's not more of us in the ghettos here in the US. There's not more of us in Kenya. There's not more of us in Zimbabwe. There's not more of us in South Africa. There's not more of us in Jamaica. There's not more of us in Haiti. You know, and I blame myself. I didn't know Haiti and the Dominican Republic was connected like that. You know, I didn't know that. The way, if you look at the media and everything, you think they totally stay so far away from each other, and they right there. But my point is, it's amazing people with amazing skill sets everywhere. So why is it that it appears some of us are struggling as much? But before you answer that, let's go to your film. I know you have a film that you've done, a short film, and I think Rose is in the back and she's going to play that before we move forward.
a family. Press Jah and believe in the clarity. Simplicity we use for survival. We walk the talk, get up and do the thing. I say think big, don't be caught up not them 16. I say focus on the with a positive mind, all can be achieved. Don't follow no man, follow your heart and your dreams.
Allentown, an estimated 10,915 size in population. The hustles and bustles of the streets of Kingston is as relevant as the currency devaluation of the Jamaican dollar. It is a guarantee and filled with excitement into the wee hours of the morning. Outside of this community, main residence is a greater part of the city that exhibits major tourist attractions and is more refined for international businesses such as posh, a surplus to the thriving economy. Allentown, an inner city community. This is the short story of Jamaica's three-time Olympic medalist, 400-meter athlete, Dr. Gregory Houghton. Gregory Houghton, born November 10, 1973, relocated and quickly transitioned into the Allentown community at 3 years old, where he relives some of his fondest and challenging childhood memories. Mom, Florence Williams, was the backbone and rock of his world. She provided strict guidance through the physical and emotional, all while documented through recounting the earlier years of his career. Gregory recounts his love for his teachers and grateful to teachers such as his physical educators, Mr. Bromfield and Mr. Gray, who provided initial support and guidance to his track and field career. Regular travel to school included a bus ride that averaged. Gregory's high school years included relocating to Seaview Gardens, where he attended High School in Mountain View, St. Andrew. Excelsior High School, originally erected in 1931 in Campbelltown, is home to 11 to 20 years old school-aged boys and girls, and averages some 2,000 plus students enrollment, and boasts A-list exclusive educational programs that harbors academics, sports, and the performing arts. Cohesive Gregory primarily on the sporting aspect of Excelsior's academic programs. As an athlete, Gregory exponentialism proved his authenticity and dedication within the track and field sport. His Excelsior High School athletic accomplishments includes Boys Champs winner of the 400-meter, Carifta Games winner of 400 World in the 4x400-meter relay. During Greg's athletic tenure, he has been inducted in the Virginia Hall of Fame 1997, George Mason University 2001, Carreras Sports Foundation Male Athlete of the Year 1999 to 2000, Inter-Secondary School Sports Association for Outstanding Contribution to Track and Field in Jamaica 2011. So it comes as no mistake when we decided to reach out for an exclusive interview with Dr. Gregor Horton for our award-winning Sports World 2020 segment.
We have a few questions for you. So you have had an illustrious career that have afforded you outstanding contribution, of course, to the Jamaican track and field sport. What would you say, if you can remember, what was your first track meet that you have won?
Well,
first track meet ever.
I think the one that stands out is when I was in middle school, we had a championship, the all middle school championship. We would call it the all primary championship. And I remember I was in the 50-meter dash, and it was a pretty good experience. You know, young kids, we just there to run. So I wasn't thinking about winning. I remember after winning the race, the 50-meter championship, it was about 1980, the coach and the teachers, they were all celebrating. And I was saying, why are they so happy? It's just a race. To me, it was just a race. But first, and victorious over the previous from the year before. So from then they thought that I had some talent, but as a kid, I was only doing it for the fun.
Maybe since that time, it is that the teachers realized that you would be an excellent athlete, even though you didn't realize that. What are some of your fondest track in high school?
Man, there's a lot. The one that I appreciate the most was the mutual games. I think this was in 1992. And I remember it was me coming on the scene trying to place and have that name recognition. And I remember we had a young man from Veer Technical. His last name was Edward.
Yeah.
And he was so confident that he was going to win that race. And I thought that it was my turn. And I remember, you know, he won the race up to the first 250. And I remember when I took off like a bat out of hell, a common phrase that we normally use. When I blew past him going on straight away, it was like he had a pulled hamstring. And I won that race by about 30 meters. And that was then when I started to get a little bit more convinced that I really had it in me, because Edwards was one of the favorites for the boys championship. And for me to be able to beat him in such a the light now was me, this guy. It was one of them that really stood out. There are many others, but that one was one of them that I'm pretty pleased with the outcome of that race.
Of course. So, you know, being in high school, thinking about going to college and university and the schools that they would like to attend, how prepared you would say you were for competing on the college circuit right out of high school?
Well, I ready. I knew I had a little bit more maturing to do, but I felt that because I was dominating the age group in Jamaica, that I, to some degree, that is with my age group. And there was a certain level of desire and hunger there where I wanted to be known. I wanted to create a name for myself. So physically, in my age group, I was ready. Academically was a different thing, because I don't think I was fully ready academically, because I had placed so much emphasis on running fast then that I ignore the athletic side almost altogether. So, you know, and everybody was telling me that the two go together. academics and athletics. But sometimes as an athlete, you focus more on, and then the thing that you're not that good at, you leave by the wayside. But fortunately for me, I was able to regroup myself and merge the two, where I was able to be successful, not only as an athlete, but also as a student athlete.
So you're saying that you academically you weren't prepared, and you knew that yourself.
Yes,
that
I
you
did.
were not for, but you were prepared in terms of track and field.
Yes, I was, and this inspired me now, because when I hang with academic, it was as capable, but sometimes you hang with the wrong group of people. They may be putting in the work, and you might be wasting something else. So caught up in wasting time academically, but it was fortunate that when I got the chance to go to college, I realized then that at some point academic be a priority in life, but to make sure that I did exceptionally well in terms of the academics, and the rest is history.
Well, a great realization. I think studies have proven that women are actually more mature than men. So where it is that in high school, I might have realized what I wanted. The same pertains to male, for it to kick in. Let's talk about the college years. Would you say that George Mason prepared you for professional competition, or even before we get into exiting George Mason, what are some of the things that was emphasized at George Mason that helped your career?
Well, put it this way, because I didn't do wanted to a community college, so I went to Central Arizona, and that was a blessing in disguise, because I did not have the fundamental things in place. The community college was perfect for me because it gave me enough time to mature academically. Athletically, I could dominate my field. Academically, it gave me to work on some of the areas that I wasn't good at. So by the time I got to George Mason, academically, I was balanced and I was able to take on the world. So yes, it is true that the transition was successful from Central Arizona to George Mason. So when we got into George Mason, we were disciplined, we were dedicated, we were focused. And because we realized that the Olympics would be a few years away, we placed everything in making physically and academically ready to compete at the next Olympics.
So would you say that George Mason prepared you for professional competition in more ways than one?
Yes, because we had a team, not just a team of athletes, but we had a team of coaches who knew what it would take for us to be the best version of ourselves. So they made sure that we had the proper structure, the proper guidance. They made sure that whatever we need at the time to improve in the athletic area and also in the academic area, that it was present, available to us. Because look at it this way, if you were not eligible academically, you wouldn't be able to fulfill the athletic part of it. So they made sure that we had tutors, they made sure that we had the personal trainers, they made sure that we had a meal plan, they made sure that anything else that was required, that it would be there. So George Mason, I give them 100% satisfactory grade for what they did, because with their help, it definitely helped me to move on to the next level where I could dominate in my event as well.
About the fact that you're the first Jamaican to run sub 45 on Jamaican soil. That's a great accomplishment. And I would like to know, how can you compare that to getting to the Olympics and actually winning a medal? What is more important, the fact that you're able to accomplish running sub 45 as the first Jamaican on Jamaican soil, or going to the Olympics and win?
Well, sometimes when I get questions like that, it's hard for me to say. Without a doubt, the Olympic Games has been one of my most prestigious accolades in terms of the individual medal. But there are things that normally lead up to that type of performance. So for me, being the first Jamaican to run sub 44, sub 45 on the Jamaica soil, it was a stepping stone, because those little performances are huge performances, end up building confidence. So once you're able to get past that, it's always what next. And people would see those accomplishments and come to some conclusion that you are a legitimate 400-meter runner. So in terms of being legitimate based on previous performances, then it helps, because as I got older and I got wiser, I was able to look back at the history, the legacy, to see that, you know, you were really doing some great things. And because you did them well, it translated into the Olympic medals, the World Championship medals, the Pan American medals, the Goodwill medals. You know, it translated into other forms of success.
I love the response. You know, kind of question, but of course, yes. Love the response. So what is it that you're, you know, in terms of your track and field accomplishments and the career itself?
And my profession now, I am a college professor. I teach management and leadership. I am a 3-time Olympic medalist, and I am also the founder and president of Horton Mentoring Group.
Awesome.
The Mentoring Group came about because in my own life, there were things that I wanted to achieve. And even though I had a prosperous career, I felt like there were things that I could do better. And I did not get the level of support at that highest level. And because of that, I formed the Horton Mentoring Group, which geared towards helping athletes to find their way, to find the level of support they need. And also, these athletes must make a transition from being a professional athlete into the real world. And because I'm a college professor, I also see where young people are not fully ready and prepared for the real world. So I was able to use my knowledge and my experience to guide them down the right path. So Horton Mentoring Group is an extension of that, where we can help an athlete or an individual who also aspire to achieve great things in their career, to provide the support and to provide the guidance that they need to take them through the different phases, the different challenges that they would face. No, it's, you know, my friend always told me that Mr. Experience is a very formidable opponent. And when you're taught by Mr. Experience, sometimes you end up losing a lot of opportunity along the way. And we find that athletes, especially when they're young, they make poor choices, and it normally takes away from what they can accomplish in the future. So the Horton Mentoring
even as adults, they do make even as adults, poor choices.
So the Horton Mentoring Group ensures that we can take an individual athlete or a career individual from point A to point B, and we use the lived experience to make sure that they don't learn the hard way through trial and error. Because when you learn through trial and error, the setbacks, it can be a miserable one, it can be a lonely road, it can be a frustrating journey. And I try my very best to make sure that we provide the best guidance to individuals who want to become the best version of themselves.
So what is your message you would say to, you know, the up and coming, the amateur elites, or even professionals of the sport? Because professionals of the sport as well need to know exactly what your path was. It may not be the same for them, but there are things that they may learn from, you know, what messages is that you have to give to them.
If you look at athletes who are successful, or career individuals who are successful in their field, one of the things you see is that they have competent, sound, qualified people in their corner guiding them. Sometimes as athletes and as individuals, you want to go about it on your own. And that is a very risky chance to take. It is always good to have people with that lived experience that can guide you, because the things that you don't know, chances are they have been there and they have done that. So I would encourage athletes and career individuals that before you jump, look before you leap, and make sure that you have competent advisors around you that can provide good, sound, quality advice that can help you to become the best version of yourself. Yes, in terms of athletic accomplishments, there is no other 400-meter runner in Jamaica who have accomplished the amount of medals and victories on a consistent basis. You know, not just a 5-time national champion, but the Pan American gold medalist, the Commonwealth Games gold medalist, the Goodwill Games gold medalist, the CAC champion. You know, it goes on and on, the NCAA champion and so on. So it just shows that the consistency was there from beginning. Now, the thing that I would love for people to find out is what made the difference in terms of the 400-meter guy who wasn't able to transcend into becoming that great of an athlete. Because it all comes down to the mind. And this is where a lot of people ignore the difference between a Greg Horton and somebody else, because they don't understand that for me, it was about mastering the mind. It was about getting the mind under control. And there are specific techniques that one can use and repetitious practices to make sure that you master how your mind works. And this is where we separate those who are on the scene for a year or two and those who may have 10 consistent years, and it's not easy. So over my span of 13 years, I was blessed because I was a student of the game, and I was also a quick learner, and I had a true intent and a desire to want to be better in every areas of my life. And I think that is what made the difference. Powerful.
You know, it's powerful and great realization as well. Talk to me about almond.
Very important to me. Young Bone was actually real hometown where I had awareness. I grew up, you know, I was born in Rollington Town, but my mother relocated to Almond Town. And at Almond Town, I started to have friends. I started to experience life. So most of my developing years came from Almond Town, where I was able to see things, experience things, and it is still a part of me, because, you know, when you in those years, I get the chance to go back to Almond Town. When I walk the neighborhood, it's just a different feeling, a feeling of humility, because it shows that this is where everything really started for you, and you're able to transcend that part of your life.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure having you on today. We really appreciate it. And we will be checking out your HMG that you have to offer. But
they won't regret it. Thank you very much for having me on your program.
When one thinks of Dr. Gregory Horton's athletic achievements, descriptive words such as humility come to mind. Mohammed Bilal Shahid states, success, despite the popular belief, isn't a one-way path or a straight line. It is a muddled road with various ups and downs, and you should navigate it with popular care. All are lost going, you will eventually reach your destination. End quote. Dr. Horton's career exudes passion and perseverance throughout his competition years. As an athlete, success is most often driven by a motivational power that helps to substantiate potential accomplishments. It is with rare form that within Dr. Horton's quest and determination for success as a decorated his personal athlete in this HMG professional career.
and make it work. Get up and work, Rasta. You reap what you sow. I say get. Nobody can do it for you if you can't do it for yourself. You have to take an extra mile for the things that you reach for. Don't look back, even when the people talk. No, talk them talk, but no, talk is cheap. Work hard and bring big for your family. Press Jah and believe in the clarity. Simplicity we use for. We want to talk, get up and do the thing.
You have to thank Rose Green for that. Excellent job. She did a great job. I just wish that we were able to see it clearer. But so far so good. We were able to at least grasp most of the message.
Hey Greg, I saw it clear. I have my other phone up on YouTube, and it was really, really great. Yes, great work, you and Rose, and the music was. I love that song.
Yeah, very, very much so. So I take the time to say thank you very much, Rose Green, for the idea and putting everything together, because it did represent truth to what hard work can do to a person.
Is Rose still on? Or did she? I can't see if she's still on there.
Yeah, she's still on.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure she was on and didn't get off. How do you guys see, where you guys are at now, right? So let's say, we got Greg, you're here, you've experienced the world. Coach Mike's on here, Rosna's on here way in Kenya, Sharifa's on here, and we're going through a pandemic, right? And this is something people want to hear, because I hear people all the time right now saying what they can't accomplish right now because it's a pandemic. But here's the reality. The reality is it's not the blowing of the wind, but it's the set of the sail. What does that mean? The wind is blowing on us all, man. It's a pandemic everywhere in the world. So I'm not going to take that away from no one. But we have to, life goes on. Fortunately or unfortunately, the way you look at it, we still got bills to pay. We still got, family to take care of. We still got to eat. We still got to take care of our bodies. So I guess the question is, in this pandemic, from a champion's mindset, you got to have a champion's mindset, no matter if you're in the U.S., no matter if you're in Jamaica, no matter if you're in Kenya, no matter if you're a man, no matter if you're a woman, you have to move on. What advice do you give individuals to move on during these tough times? Let's start with Coach Mike.
Well, I think you have to just do what you can. You do everything that you can. Set a goal. Set some kind of goal that's achievable within the confines of this time that we have right now. And that goal might be fitness. That goal might just say, okay, I'm going to just get fit. I'm going to stay fit. I'm going to go outside no matter what the weather is, because it's cold up here. No matter what the weather is, no matter what's going on. If I have to do stuff in my house, I gotta stay fit, because track season is going to come. It's still going to go. It's going to come.
So what do you say to the athlete that you're telling to do these workouts you're sending them, and he goes or she goes, but coach, we don't even know if we're gonna have a season. Why should I be working out this hard right now? We might not even have a season again.
Because being prepared prevents failure. If you're prepared, when it does come, because it is going to come, when you're prepared, then you are not going to have the regret. You're not going to have the what ifs. You're not going to have the if I woulda, shoulda, couldas. Okay, you are going to be prepared, and you're not going to be prepared just physically. You're going to be prepared mentally, because you put the work in already. So you're not. I tell them, being prepared prevents failure. It's just what you have to do. And no matter what, there's obstacles, because everyone has, I also tell them this, everyone's going through the same thing.
Yeah.
You are not different than anybody else. You're not going through anything worse than anybody else. The top athlete and the top athletes in the world are going through the same thing as you are right now. You're as a developing athlete. They're all struggling with facilities, coaching, health. Worry about if they have parents at their house. They got to worry about all that kind of stuff as well as you do. So if they have the mindset that they're going to still run the Olympics in Tokyo, then you're going to have the same mindset as that you're going to run outdoor track in May.
So being prepared prevents failure. Sharifa, what do you say to the young woman or the older woman that says, how in the hell am I supposed to leave this guy that's kicking my ass and we're in a pandemic? How am I going to eat? Where am I going to survive? Where am I going to go? We're in a pandemic. I can't just go out and get a job. It's hard to get jobs right now. You're telling me we can do it. You're telling me I'm a strong woman. But right now in this pandemic, people are looking for jobs. People are looking for help. How am I supposed to leave now during this time? What do you tell that individual, Sharifa?
Only advice that I can give a person in that situation, and it's hard. It's really hard, especially during this pandemic, because they don't have any place to go. But I will seek some type of shelter. I will call up a friend and ask, can I stay? Because this is my situation, and just be honest. Because a lot of time when people are in an abusive marriage, relationship, whatever, they feel embarrassed, they feel ashamed, and they feel like that they can't talk to anyone. So you have to, even if you have to sleep on the floor, even if you have to sleep in your vehicle and go to a restaurant to wash up or whatever, you have to get out. And again, a lot of women, they're not going to leave. No matter what you tell them, no matter how you look at them, they will leave when they have hit totally rock bottom. So I'm preaching to the choir. So a lot of people say, well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? Well, it was various reasons why I didn't leave. And then when you have a man that will manipulate your mind and tell you this, that, and the other, they're scared and they fear for their lives. So that's mainly one reason why they don't leave. But only thing, again, I can say to them is seek shelter. And right now, with the way the economy is going and everything is shutting back down, there's no job, there's no hope. So they feel like, hey, at least I have a roof over my head. I may get my ass beat, tomorrow or the next day, but I'm just going to have to take an L for this. And that's their mentality. And you can't tell anyone no difference if their mentality and they stuck in their mind like that. So people can become a prisoner in their own mind and don't even realize that. So again, seek help, seek shelter, call a friend, and go back home if you have to.
And if you can't do those things and you just need, you just need something to comfort you, just listen to Sharifa's song and just,
yes.
Just take that teamwork from knowing other people is going through what you're going through and they've overcome it. And when the time comes, you'll be able to overcome it also. So
right. And you got, and I tell women, you got to start stacking paper. I don't care if it's $10 a week, $15 a week, until you can find yourself stable and financially. And a lot of reason why a lot of women, they don't leave, because it's financially reason. And when a man bounds you and put chains on your hands and your feet, you can't get out. You can't get out. But again, there is hope. So if you out there listen to Strong Women, look at the video, because this too shall pass.
Rosalind, what do you say to the individuals in Kenya that says, you know how tough it is here in Kenya. You know what the culture is. This is our culture. This is what we've always done. This is what our parents have always done. And you're telling me to step outside of my comfort zone and do something different? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to get the resources? Who's going to help me? I tried, or my parents have been this way my whole life. Rosalind, what do you say to the individuals that's stuck into a pattern that's been that way for a long time and they don't see any opportunity or hope ahead?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think what I say, because it's a reality. That's something that we go through on a daily basis, because I work with young people in the creative industry, and right now opportunities have shrunk because of lack of face-to-face audience interaction. So what I always say is, work with what you have. Start with what you have, no matter how small it is. Start with what you have. Don't wait for a huge investment. Don't wait for a huge audience. Don't wait for, the huge things. Start with what you have. You can you can provide hope by looking out of your situation. There's always someone who's better than you, has it better than you, and someone who has it worse than you. So always encourage people to just get out of your head. And the reason why I can say this with credibility is because I do personally have a mental health history of challenges. So I've gone through depression, for example. So I'm talking out of reality, that I know what it means to be in a situation where you feel you cannot even move. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've survived this. You can too. So sharing my personal experience and just encouraging them that don't give up. The time that you want to give up is when things are going to get better. Just those kind of positive messages. It's always darkest before the dawn. And other people have made it. You can too. You have value. And nothing is permanent. Every situation changes. It's fluid. So don't get stuck in that situation. So I don't know if that kind of answers.
It did. What I wanted to say is, Greg, what do you say to the kids that say, well, we just saw your documentary. You just said you won this award, and you won that award, and you won that race, and you won that race, and you traveled here, and you got a PhD, and you're a professor and all that. So it's easy for you to say all the things you're saying, because look at all these races you don't won. But I ain't won no races. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to Central Arizona. I didn't go to George Mason. I'm not the most accomplished 400-meter runner in Jamaican's history. So while you're in Miami, which is one of the best places in the world to live, and you're a professor with a PhD, now, it's easy for you to say this stuff because you have a safety net. We're both walking on this tightrope, but you got a safety net and I don't. So what do you say to those people that come? Because I'm trying to be real. I know how when I was in high school and I was in the hood and somebody came to me telling me all this stuff, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, dude, I got to figure out I'm going to eat tonight. So you can call talking about what's going to happen in 15 years. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen in 15 minutes. What do you say to those people?
Well, that's a very good question. What I would say to them is that 25, 30 years ago, I was just like you. I was thinking like, how am I going to make it? That was one of the biggest challenges in my mind because I didn't see a way. But one of the things I know for sure is that if I put in the right type of work, then I will get the right type of results. And it seemed like it was forever because you may win a few races here, but you were stockpiling them as you go along. So I'm saying to people right now that it doesn't matter where you are. You have to start now. You have to start doing these little things. Like when I went to Central Arizona, it was the first time I was exposed to type in my own paper, because in Jamaica, you write everything out. And I started with one finger, and now I can type without looking. You have to put in the work, and you have to put in the work consistently. Now, the difference is the way one thinks, and this is why I said earlier that my purpose here is to change the way people look at things. Because Einstein said, you cannot solve the problem with the same level of thinking that created the mind. Yeah. You need a higher level of thinking. So it's a higher level of thinking that will let you get out of your own way and look at what you need to do. And this is why I would encourage even those people who would ask that question to say, look, I'm not selfish. I want to help you. I will take every step with you if you are willing to take the first step. I will show you the formula. I will do it with you. I will call you. I will motivate you because that's something that I needed. And because I understand that when you're just getting started, it is a very difficult thing I would make sure that I do it with you. I teach by following my own example, just for you to know that it can be done. I will do it with you, so you shouldn't have any excuse when it's time to get the work done.
Yeah, before we continue real quick and we're about to wrap it up, the next segment is going to be art. The next segment is going to be art. So make sure you stay tuned and stay on to the art segment of it. But I really think, this is important what we're talking about here, because what you have is that you have individuals, you have men, women, females, you have individuals from different walks of life, from different countries and continents that have gone through the similar challenges. And what we're saying is the message is the same: perseverance, getting a mentor or a coach, not giving up. But as you can see, even though Greg's where he's at now, you saw where he came from. Even though Sharifa's where she's at now, you saw some of the challenges that she's gone through. You heard that Mike was talking about over the 30 years how things have changed and how he's trying to install some of these principles to some of the high school kids that he's been working with for years and years. You saw how Rosalind talks about some of the challenges that she's had even over in Kenya and how the pandemic has caused some of these issues. What I'm trying to say is, the wind blows on us all. The pandemic is happening to us all, but it's how you in your mind decides to go. It might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. Even Sharifa said it. Yeah, she's not going to come on here and be like, girl, just leave, because she don't know if your situation is such that you can just leave. And Greg's not telling you to just do it the same way he did it, because he understands that, he had to start with one finger. Maybe you don't have to start with one finger, or maybe you're not dealing with the same thing. Right now, like Rosalind said in Kenya, and I never thought about that. During this pandemic, because people can't go anywhere, the high school kids are they're at home. Maybe the parents are working. Teenage kids gonna be teenage kids. Let's keep it real. So that is a challenge that we're gonna have to deal with. But hopefully, and maybe if someone can see this show, or if we can start implementing back programs that talk about domestic violence or talk about these things, it'll help out. But the first thing, if you notice, Rosalind said it, Greg said it, Michael said it, I'm saying it, Sharifa said it, reach out to somebody. Reach out and ask for help. So I'm going to put everybody that's listening to this, I'm going to dare them. All the complaining, I'm tired of hearing people complain. We all have things going on. You have someone to reach out to. So if someone wants to reach out to you, Greg, where can they find you?
You can find me at www.drhorton.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me at www.hortonmentoringgroup.com. You have access to me on all the social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, everything.
And you said that you will walk with them if they reach out to you.
I will walk with you.
All right.
Every step of the way.
All right, Sharifa, where can they find you? If a woman's watching this and she's really struggling and she don't got nowhere to turn and she says, I'm listening to your song, it's giving me confidence, where can they find you at?
I'm on every social media, which is sbark1984. And you can email me at sbark1984@gmail. So any of those, and you can DM me and I can walk you through.
And if they and you're saying you're giving them the open opportunity, if a young lady's out in Zimbabwe and she's struggling with somebody, her man or boyfriend kicking her butt, and she has nowhere to go, but she needs someone to text or talk to, she can reach out to you.
Yeah, and they can reach out to me through my email and through social media, and I will talk to them. I've had so many so far that has just reached out to me, and I have helped them. I done had 3 people so far that has left their relationship, which is, if I could just reach one, but this, I mean 3. All
right. Michael, if some kid is stressed about if we're going to have a season this year and he needs a little motivation or inspiration, where can you be found at?
I can be found on Facebook. I can be found on Instagram at RunMick. I can be found on my email. It's runningman13 STER @gmail.com.
All right.
Right now, I'm coaching a girl in Morocco. I send her workouts every day. We talk, we text every day, every morning. And she saw me on Facebook with one of my posts, and she saw me and asked me if I could help her. I'm helping her. She's going to run her first track meet next month.
That's awesome. Remember, International Stars on YouTube is where the art program will start at 12:30. Rosalind, if a young man or young lady back in Kenya or anywhere just needs some advice on how to navigate this space, especially on the continent of Africa and kind of where you at, where can you be found at?
You can find me on social media platforms. I'm on Facebook. My name is Rosalind Olewe. I'm on Instagram. I will probably type my Instagram name. I can't remember it offhand. It's something like Rosalind Omondi. No, it's Rosalind Olewe. And I'm also on Twitter. On Twitter, I'm Rosalind Omondi09. Then my organization is called Talanta Mtani. So we have social media platforms across the board. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we have a YouTube channel. So I'd be very happy to receive any queries, any opportunities to engage.
It's been great, guys. It's 12. As you know, International Stars on YouTube. We got art coming up next. It's about to start. This has been my time. Thanks for everybody. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Rosalind. Thanks, Sharifa. Thanks, Michael. And we'll keep in touch.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a blessed day and be safe.
All right, you all.
Blessings.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Guys.
Rose.
Why am I echoing?
And you
Yes,
are
you're echoing.
all over the place.
Yes. Sorry about that. I was on a different system.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know what that Dr. Greg, man. I didn't know he was one of my freaking heroes. My gosh, I could not believe that I was listening to him.
Greg,
nice.
It's all of us heroes, I tell you.
Yeah, wow.
Yes. You enjoy well, you know what happened is that I have most people that watch the video and they were able to see it very clear. But I think on the Zoom end, it's not so clear. But
it was delayed.
Watching it directly from YouTube, it's on YouTube it's super clear. I was watching it on YouTube and I was like, Rosalind, yes. We're going to do art at 12:30. Lining up for that as well.
Okay.
Thank you for so many devices. One. That's so cool. Thank you. Yeah, but it was awesome. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Mike.
It's my pleasure.
You delivered.
I was so nervous. I didn't know how I was gonna sound. And Rosalind, you gave me so much encouragement. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So cool. You're welcome.
I really appreciate that. I was like, am I saying anything right? I mean, I was like,
yeah.
At least I said right to one person.
It was good.
Right. Well, I got my phone is blowing up. There's a track meet going on right now with some of my runners. You know, the MSCTA had these meets at Wheaton College. And so some of the kids are taking advantage.
Yeah, I heard.
And so I got kids telling me their results and stuff, but it's so expensive. They're charging $25 an event. So
well, and that's the thing that I talk about. They're charging $25 an event, and then you get there, and it's crap. You know, it's just insane.
But the thing about it, it's the only game in town. There's nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. There's no other meets going on anywhere because no one wants to host them. facility wants to host them. And Wheaton College was just the one that did it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and you just what you got. So I'm telling all my jumpers and all my sprinters, especially all my jumpers and throwers, go to every meet that you can, because that's the only place you're going to have the time to practice.
Yeah.
To get inside and throw a ball or jump into a pit or jump over a bar. So so that's what I'm getting. I'm just been getting texts about kids doing their performances and stuff, and so I'm going to ring off because I'm a teacher. I'm in front of a screen every single day, and I am now going to rest my eyes. So I'll see you all. Well, it was so nice meeting you. It was so nice.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, I'll shoot you an email once in a while. Okay.
Michael, that nice meeting you, and have a blessed day.
Super. It was, oh my goodness. I look actually while you were talking, I looked you up. Yes. I do actually, I do remember you. I do remember.
Oh, okay.
I do remember you. So it's really a pleasure, and keep up the good work. Okay, help these young ladies to understand that they are more than enough.
They're worthy.
They're worthy. They're more than enough.
Yes.
They don't have to depend on any person to validate who they are.
Who they are. That's right.
They got that validation already through God, and so now all they got.
Amen. Amen.
Through it. That's all they got to do. So
be blessed and be safe, and stay prayed up.
Yes. Oh, I know. That's every day, at least every day.
Yes, because I just I mean, this COVID is taking people out right and left. I mean, I just never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I've lost I only lost one friend, thankfully. My sister got it in Florida. She had underlying conditions, but she got through it. Thank goodness.
Praise God.
I'm just hopeful that then they know how to treat it now, and they know how to treat it. There's a little vaccine going on, so hopefully that gets the thing put under control, and we can get back to our normal lives. Anyway, nice meeting you. Pleasure. I'll see you around.
Okay, Mike.
See you, Rose. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. No worries. Okay, guys, we're going to be live at the INTL Stars. Please look out for me live.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Tune in at YouTube Live. Rosalind.
I leave this one and I go to the YouTube link, right?
Yes. You can just go to my International Stars page, and it's going to be streaming live at 12:30 when all the videos will start, when everything will start streaming live over there. And then I need to send you a link for the music panel one. And then the one for the performance later tonight, that's just one link for all the performances. So you'll see the two visual arts in this one coming up, artists coming up. I didn't hear you. Say again.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome, dear. You're welcome. Doing my best over here.
Man, you're doing well.
I feel so, I hate feeling overwhelmed. I didn't, but you plan for this. If there was no plan in action, it would have never happened. There was a plan in action, so it's just kind of sticking to it and getting stuff done.
YouTube. So we're waiting for it to go live, basically. Home. That was athletics. Okay.
Oh, it was beautiful. Wow. So simple and nice. Traditional wedding. It was so nice. So they've already been married. They were married in the AGs, the Attorney General. They've already gotten that certificate. So this was not the traditional wedding. And the man is from Coast, Mijikenda, and the ladies are Kamba. So it was Mijikenda custom. It was beautiful. So they first dressed in traditional attire. Then they did some blessing by the parents. There was a preacher. He preached. Then when they finished the traditional one, they went and changed into now modern clothes. And they just had speeches. Then people gave them gifts. Then there was preaching. And then we ate. And people went home. So simple. And it was only 50 people. Only 50 people. So they did it at, it was a building in Athens that, like a big house. So they used the compound. They put a tent in the compound. Hi. Just in time for the virtual conference. It's I finished one panel. I'm about to start another one, so you can log in. So the main house is where they were changing. So even I was put for makeup. They were put makeup. They dressed up. They did everything in the house, and then people now came out into the tent. And it was so simple. Someone can do a wedding very cheaply. The lady, I'll show you the photo. The lady we used to work with her till a long time. You've met her before. You've met her. She's called Marsha. Marsha, yeah. So her husband, he's a scientist. He actually works in the US, but he came back because of COVID. So they've been this side, but eventually they'll go back to the US. So he's a scientist with which organization? Not Camry. I don't know, but he's a PhD. He's a scientist. Yeah. Very humble couple. Yeah, both parents were there, both sides. They were dressed in traditional kitenge. Oh, it was nice. Yes, you learn things. I was so impressed.
Tradition is the field.
Unapika kama ile ya cheza gani?
So how was the place?
It was good. We made progress. It's called the designer.
Yeah, Tina bought for me.
Which designer?
Yes.
Which designer is it?
I don't know.
Just looks, you don't even know the name.
Just looks cute. Just looks cute. Me, I don't know.
It's good quality.
Anaitwa. Google logo.
Look at it. Nyoka 4. It was good today. Made good progress. I'll have to record during the week. Every night, record 2 songs this week.
You recorded a song?
Yeah, I recorded 3 songs today. I got the vision of the project. And then there's some songs which still need to be mixed. So I have to record 2 songs per night this week.
It's YouTube. It's not Zoom. So it's recording everything and posting. Oh my God.